Hello, xin chào các bạn. Hôm qua chúng ta học language art của Khan, có vẻ rất khó khăn. Hôm nay chúng ta thử một language art của Acellus là chương trình học mất tiền xem sao. Nào chúng ta cùng nghe.
I have a really fun looking book. It's called I Want to Learn About Castles. I think it looks really fun. Before we read it, I want to talk about something called author's purpose. Now, what's the author's purpose? Well, that's just saying, why did the person write the story or the book, right? There are three basic things that the author could be trying to have for her purpose or his purpose. One is to entertain. That's, just give you something fun to read. Another one would be to inform. That would be to tell you things so that you learn about something. And the last one would be to persuade. Remember when we wrote the advertisement? That was to persuade. It was to try to get someone to read the book. Well, to persuade is to try to convince you or make you decide something. So there's three basic things, right? Do you remember what they are? Entertain, that's to just give you some fun. Inform, that's to tell you some things, some information. And then the last one, persuade. That's to convince you or make you decide something, right? This is expository text. That means it's telling true facts. And as we're reading it, I want you to watch and see if you can find the author's purpose. Are you ready? Okay.
Đó là như một cô giáo tiếng Việt đọc cho các bạn nghe chuyện, đúng không? Vậy là bạn sẽ cần có một khả năng ngôn ngữ khá. Nào, chúng ta bắt đầu.
I Want to Learn About Castles by Jamie Banks. And here's our title page. Imagine that you are inside a castle. You look out and all you see is a moat and giant meadows. Everything is pleasant and quiet. What do you think pleasant means? Do you think that's something that's good? Something that you like?
Do vậy là cô sẽ đọc cho các bạn để biết cách phát âm. Và nếu có từ nào mới thì sẽ được giải thích ngay lập tức. Do vậy là cô sẽ đọc cho các bạn nghe cách phát âm các từ cũng như là giải thích các cái từ mới.
Then you see horses and men charge toward the castle. Boom! The castle is under attack. This is a pretty exciting beginning. Now, reading this page, what do you think the author's purpose was? Do you think that Jamie Banks wanted us to just be informed, just wanted to tell us something? Or do you think Jamie Banks was trying to entertain us? Or do you think Jamie Banks was trying to convince us of something? I think that Jamie Banks was just trying to entertain us, to get us excited about reading about castles. That's what I think. Castles made of stone were first built in the 9th century. The stones were held together with mortar. Some walls were up to 30 feet wide, and usually the castles were built on high mountains. Some castles were almost impossible to take over. What would impossible mean? Something that you just can't do. It was almost impossible. What about this page? What do you think the author's purpose was? This one didn't sound so much like entertaining, did it? I think this page was trying to inform us, trying to tell us some things about castles so that we would know, right? A castle had many parts.
Vậy đấy là phần đọc truyện. Ngoài ra người ta cũng có các cái bài đơn giản hơn như là dạy các bạn về từ vựng, để xây dựng các ngôn ngữ từ vựng thì chúng ta mới thể học được. Như là phần từ vựng
Let's
7.
talk about some of the words that were in the book we read, shall we? Here's one, respected. Do you remember how respected was used in the story?
Có thể đọc lại
The
theo
little
cô.
robot wanted
Respected.
people to respect him. He wanted to be respected. So he wanted people to look up to him and see what he was like, right? Respected is to honor or put someone in a high position in your feelings. Is your mother respected? I hope so. Respected by you? And your teacher should be respected, right? Someone you look up to and you think they're pretty good. Right? Lots of little children want to be respected. Let's write the word. Get ready. Get your finger ready. Respected. R-E-S-P-E-C-T-E-D. And what does
Đấy
this
là cô
ED
dạy
tell us?
viết, các bạn có thể
But it's
viết
already
theo.
happened, right?
Như là học sinh lớp 2
How
tập
about this
viết
word,
nhiều.
advice? Do you remember advice? The robot said, take my advice. And find a good place to hide, right? Advice, that's an idea or opinion that someone gives to help you decide. The advice, when you listen to somebody, they tell you some ideas, and that helps you to make your decision, right? Let's write advice. Advice. A-D-V-I-C-E. Now, this is not advise. This is advice with a C, okay? How about rattled? This word is just like it sounds, noisy. Rattled, that's quick, sharp noises, right? Rattled. Let's see if we can write this word, but before we do, look what it's got at the end. It's got ED, which tells us it already happened. What if I was talking about a sound that's happening right now? Then I would say rattle, right? Or rattling. Okay, get ready to write rattled. R-A-T-T-L-E-D. Good. How about commotion? Do you remember commotion from the story we read? Commotion, that's a noisy confusion or disorder. Like lots of noises, right? A commotion. Let's write it. Get your finger ready. C-O-M-M-O-T-I-O-N. That's got a lot of O's and a lot of M's, doesn't it? Commotion. Now, what if we were trying to read this word and we didn't know it? We could look at the first part. Mo, and then shun. Remember T-I-O-N is shun, commotion. We can read words just by reading their parts, can't we? All right, how about this word? Shivering. That's shaking either from cold or fear. Like you're afraid, right? Shivering. And this is happening right now. We can tell because it's got ing. What if we wanted to say that it already happened? Then we could say shivered, right? But this is shivering, so it's happening right now. Get your finger ready and let's write it. Shivering. S-H-I-V-E-R-I-N-G. This is one of the endings we know about, right? So this is shiver with an ing on the end. Okay.
Do vậy là chỉ có dạy chi tiết như vậy thì các bạn mới có thể học được từ vựng để có thể nói được. Hoặc là họ sẽ dạy chi tiết chúng ta về noun.
What do you know about nouns? You've probably heard nouns. Oh yeah, that's person, place, or thing, right? It's not too hard. Let's see how well you remember about nouns. And let's learn just a little bit more. Nouns. Some nouns name people, right? Some nouns name places. Some nouns name things. So person, place, or thing, right? People, places, things. Use commas with and to separate 3 or more nouns in a list. Did you know about that? So if you're going to write more than 2 nouns, then you're going to want to use a comma. And I'll show you some examples. Here we go. We had a storm last night. Storm, that's a thing. So it's a noun. Night, and that's a thing. That's also a noun. So we have storm and night in this sentence that are nouns. We is not considered a noun. It's what's called a pronoun. We'll learn more about those later. That it's not really a person. It's just representing a person. So storm and night are the nouns in that sentence. There was a lot of rain, there's a thing, and strong winds. More things, right? Winds. And now let's read this last sentence. Mary, John, and Pam had to stay home. Well, Mary, John, and Pam are nouns that name people, right? Each of these is a person. Now, when I'm making a list, look, I've got 1, 2, 3 different people. So I put a comma between their names, and I use an and before the last name. You see what I did? Mary, comma, John, comma, and Pam had to stay, and home is a place. See what I'm doing? Now, if I was just having Mary and Pam in the sentence, then I wouldn't need these commas, but I would still want to keep the and. Does it make sense? So I don't need to use the commas unless I have more than 2 nouns. Do you understand? All right. Now I want you to see if you can help me figure this out. Come here, Leo. Come help us out here. What kind of noun is the red word? Now, there's more than one noun in the sentence. I just want you to look at the one that's red. There are lots of trees in the forest. We know trees are things, so they're nouns, right? But we're not worried about the trees. We're worried about the forest. Is forest a person, a place, or a thing? Forest. I know. That's a place. You could go to a forest. That's right. So forest is a place. Okay? How about this sentence? What kind of noun is the red word? We have a dog, a cat, and a fish at our house. Did you see that I made a list? I have a dog, a cat, and a fish. See my commas? So dog and cat and fish are all nouns, aren't they? Can you see another noun in the sentence? House. That's right. House would be a place. But we're not talking about house. We're talking about cat. What kind of a noun is cat? Is it a person, a place, or a thing? Well, cat is not a person. Cat is not a place. It must be a thing. That's right. Animals are considered things, okay? So cat is a thing noun.
Các bạn thấy là cô phát âm từ cuối rất là rõ ràng thì chúng ta có thể nghe được.
And how about this one? What kind of noun is the red word? Grandma made cookies and cake for us. Oh, I know.
Ngoài ra còn có những bài để chúng ta phát âm, ví dụ như
Let's look at some of the words that we read.
phonic
And
and
let's see if we can
spelling
remember
trong
different
language
ways to
art.
spell words. Are you ready? Here's one, bee. Can you hear that long E sound in the word bee? I have 2 E's working together to make that E sound. E, bee. Can you hear it? I want you to use your finger and I want you to write the E's in the air. We're going to do this 3 times to help us remember that 2 E's together can make that E sound. Are you ready? Here we go. E. Did you do it? Okay, again. E. One more time. E. So 2 E's can make that long E sound. Make the E say his name, right? How about this word? Leaf. I hear the E saying his name again. This time I have an E and an A working together to make an E sound. So this time, let's write EA 3 times. Really think about how we're making the E sound, that long E sound. Ready? Get your finger ready. E. EA makes that E sound. Ready again. E. Again. E.
Mỗi một từ ở đây các bạn có
Good.
hình để minh họa.
Oh, here's another
Không
word
cần
with
phải
that
biết
long
nghĩa
E sound.
tiếng Việt
Baby. Do you hear that E at the end? Baby. I do. Let's write Y all by itself and say the E sound. Let's do it 3 times to help us remember that Y can go E. Ready? E. Did you do it? Let's do it again. E. One more time. E. My goodness, there are a lot of ways you can get that long E sound, aren't there? Well, we're not finished. What about EY at the end of key? It's another way to get that long E sound. Let's do it. Let's do it 3 times. Get your finger ready. E. EY. E. EY. Let's do it one more time.
Và chỉ có học rất kỹ như vậy thì chúng ta mới có thể nói được, phát âm được tiếng Anh. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.